What's up guys, welcome back to your 10th tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be covering something called an array. A-R-R-A-Y. That's probably going to be at the title at the top of the screen, but I like spelling things, so there you have it. So you're saying, alright Bucky, that's a pretty cool word, but what the heck is an array? Well, let me break it down to you guys real simple. Don't even read any definitions online or else they're just going to confuse you with all their technical talk. All an array is, it's a variable that holds multiple values. So for example, before we said like int x was equal to 17. Well, now what we can do is instead of just one number in there, we can store multiple numbers or values in there. Pretty confusing, huh? So let's go ahead and let's see an example right now. Let me give myself some space and let's go ahead and make an integer. Well, before I even start typing, let me tell you guys how to create an array. In order to create an array, they're all made basically the same way. The first thing you do is type what type of data you're going to be storing in this array. Let's just keep it simple and store integers in it, whole numbers. Next, you give your array a cool name. And we're going to give this array the coolest name of all, which is bacon. Besides from Bucky, because that's pretty dang cool. And after you write the name of your array, in square brackets, you write how many values you want that array to store. So let's go ahead and make a relatively small one. We're only store 5 values in here. Won't take too much of a toll on our processor. So go ahead and just like variables, set it to equal sign, and now we need to set it equal to multiple values. So what your computer needs to do is it needs to recognize where these values are. So go ahead and put these, I don't even know what the heck these things are called, curly brackets or curly braces, I think. I don't know. Whatever those things are called, and your line. So inside these curly braces, this is where you write your 5 values, integer values, separated with a comma. So let's go ahead and type in any 5 values: 12, 43, 54, 3, and 897. So check this out. Again, to recap, in order to create an array, here's what you do. What type of data is going to be stored in it? These are integers. What is the name of your array? You can name it whatever heck you want. Just name this bacon. And how many items are in it? And by the way, the technical term for these items are elements. I call them items. Some people call them elements. Technically, they're elements, but whatever. I'll use them interchangeably. Deal with it. So, check this out. You know how before, whenever we wanted to use a variable like cout, we would just print out the variable's name like this, bacon? Well, how on earth are we going to reference this array and get to the values in it if it has like multiple values? Wow, this is going to be super confusing, right? Wrong. Check this out. Anytime you want to access any element in an array, all you have to do is type the name of the array and write what index it is. So let's go ahead and see an example, and you're going to see something a little weird, but stick with me. Let's go ahead and put bacon 2 and print out and see what we get. Run this, and we get 54. Now let's scroll this down and check this out. Alright, 12 is first, 43 is second, and 54 is third. So how come when I type 2, I got 54 instead of 43? Well, check this out. In computer language, they love to start with 0. Binary code is all zeros and ones. Whenever you learned counting as a kid, you started with 1. But whoever the heck built computers, whenever they learned counting as a kid, they evidently must have started at 0, because in computer programming, whenever you count anything, it always starts with 0. So that is why when we reference 2, that this is actually the second index, because it goes like this. 12 is 0, 43 is 1, 54 is 2, 3 is 4, or excuse me, 3. Wow, that's confusing. 3 is 3, and 897 is 4. So let's go ahead and change this to 4, And remember, since it starts at 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is actually going to print out 897 right here. Check it out, 897. So how cool is that? So anyways, that is what an array is. Pretty much a variable that can store multiple values, and how to access each individual element in the array is you type in the name of the array, which is bacon, and then you type what index you want to print out. So 0 would print out 12. Let's just go ahead and see that. 12. And if we did something crazy like 5, let's go ahead and build and run that, and we get some weird error. And this is actually, it looks like a number, but this is actually a space in memory. It's pretty much an error. So that is because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 doesn't exist, so it's gonna just print out the memory location of it. But that's like 40 tutorials away from now. Just notice that whenever you go outside of your array, you get an error message. So anyways, that's the basics of an array. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys a different way to build an array other than this. So you definitely want to stick around. And I know just printing out variables on the screen right now is going to seem really useless, but trust me, whenever we come across building a program that uses an array in a useful manner, you're going to see how useful these things really are. It's actually incredibly amazing. Trust me, you guys are going to be amazed. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.